Just why it should have happened, or why it should have happened, Ghibli have said. Nor perhaps could it even have occurred to him to ask. The thing was, above all, a secret. Something to be preciously concealed. And to that very fact it owed an enormous part of its deliciousness.
Deirdre, perhaps you could tell us what the equator is.
Answer at once, Paul. Remember, we're trying to help you.
All the following morning, he had kept with him a sense as of snow falling about him. A secret screen of new snow between himself and the world. If he had not dreamed such a thing, and how could he have dreamed it while awake? How else could one explain it? He could not now remember whether it was on the first or the second morning, or was it even the third, that his mother had drawn attention to some oddness in his manner.
What the devil is it, Paul?
Paul? Now, does anyone know the difference between the North Pole and the magnetic pole?
The second, the third morning, or even the fourth or fifth. How could he be sure? How could he be sure just when the delicious progress had become clear? Just when it had really begun? All he knew was that at some point or another, perhaps the second day, perhaps the sixth, he had noticed that the presence of the snow was a little more insistent, the sound of it clearer, and conversely, the sound of the postman's steps more indistinct. Not only could he not hear the steps come round the corner, he could not even hear them at the first house. It was above the first house that he heard them, and then, a few days later, above the second, and a few days later, above the third.
And now take it slowly and hold it if you can.
How silly all this was. As if it had anything to do with his throat, or his heart, or lungs.
No, there's no sign of superficial eye strain at all. We could have his eyes examined, but I believe it's something else.
Even here, even among these hostile presences, the snow was waiting, out of sight, with an air that said,
Quite sure.
"Wait, Paul. Just wait. Wait, Paul. Just wait till we're alone together. Then I will tell you something new, something cold, something sleepy, something of cease and peace and the long,
trying to help
curve of space. Banish them. Refuse to speak. Leave them. Go upstairs to your room. I will be waiting for you. I will tell you a story better than the snow ghost. I will surround your bed, close the window, pile a deep drift against the door, so that none will ever again be able to enter.
The devil
Speak to them.
I'm just thinking.
Oh, you're making this very painful for your
Dear,
mother.
about what?
What are you thinking about?
Hurry, Paul, hurry. These last few precious hours.
Mother, can I go to bed now? Please, I have a headache. Please.